Okay, guys, happy Sunday. I hope everything is good for you guys. I'm just going to spread the word real quick. Find the link wherever it is. Let me just get in here some. We should be live somewhere. Let's see. Okay, so I can see that now. I can copy the link, and I'm going to drop this onto Instagram. The pupper is here as well. You here to help? He knows it's almost dinner time, so we are getting ready to do some stuff. So let me see. I'm going to just do this on the phone. Super fast. Bjorn, how are you, dude? Let me just create a post real quick, and we will get this going live. Hi, baby dog. Yes, we can see you there. So I'm just dropping a live here on Instagram. Let me figure out getting some words out there. Mike Hike, how are you, dude? I'm trying to get a link here so you guys can just hop on and watch. Maybe I'll do it from YouTube. That would probably be the best thing. I have that one here. All right, here's the link. Hey, Helena, how are you? I'm hoping we can get another deal coming your way from this stream. I'm just trying to get a share link here so I can drop this in here, and damn it, I'll have to text this to myself and pull it out of there. So bear with me a sec, guys, and I will pull this out. Here we go. Here we go. So I just dropped a YouTube link in there. It looks like I am the only person watching, but you guys should watch as well. Julius, Starchild, Carly, Middlecoff, Grunman. Where have you been? So, you think you got one in Memphis? Okay, Julius, let me send a link to you so that you can join. Can you send me a Facebook message, dude? And I will send you a link to join, and we can take a look at that one together. I'm going to put this one over here. The action's happening at this Zoom address, the YouTube channel. Excuse me. I will look out for your message, Julius Starchild. Finn? Here's my loyal, almost 5-year-old boy. How you doing, Erica? I hope you're doing well, sunshine. It's been too long. Hopefully, look at this crusty boy. He's got to get in the shower. Justin Coble. How are you doing, guys? So let's jump on here. Julius, I've got your message, dude. Thank you so much. So if you follow that link, Julius, you can jump into the thing. Do hit the link, though, where you see it in Facebook, so that you can actually show up your name. I think you already did. And that way, when you join, I will get you sorted out in there. And I'll be able to hear you as well. BLT for fun. There's another for fun as well that you hang out with as well, I think, isn't there? I haven't quite figured out the names, but that is awesome. Julius, you joining? Hopefully you'll be in there in just a second. Let me just dump this in somewhere else as well. Oh, wrong link, hang on. That was close. What up, Manny? We're just going to see if we can underwrite some wrap deals. Julius, I'm not seeing you on that link yet. Hit the link that I sent you through Facebook, and you'll be able to join. Just check your audio and all the other stuff is good, and turn off the Facebook stream, because then we won't get feedback. Carly, what are you up to today? You're always up to mischief on any day of the week. Okay, there you are. I heard you. Julius, are you there?
Hey, Tristan, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just picking up my kids from their grandma's house.
Nice. That's awesome. So, what you got going on, dude? How can I help?
So, I have a potential wrap in Memphis, Tennessee, 751 Elma Street. I already have it under contract. I just got under contract like maybe a week ago. I just want to really see if it's, something that's even worth going through with or, you know.
Sure. Well, what do we need to do to look at this? If you're picking up your kids, are we in a position to put numbers in or anything, or
We got a little bit of time.
we need to do that another day? Okay. All right. Let me just pull up my worksheet here a second. It's not fully comprehensive, but it will do for what I need for wraps. So, so I will do this. I will share my screen so that we can see what we're doing. Present. I just have to approve my own sharing a second, which seems to have been done. There we go. Can you guys see this? Alan, I want to catch up with you this week, dude. So, what is the offer that you got for these people?
So, there's 127,000 left on the mortgage. It's just a sub 2. The entry fee is like all they want me to do is just catch up. They're behind payments. They're behind like 3 payments, and their monthly
Okay.
PITI is 1080. So about 1,100 times 3, roughly $3,300. To seller to catch up on payments, and then wholesalers want 2,750 a piece. So that would be
5,500.
Yep, 5,500, and then closing costs, right?
I can
So
figure
that's
that
it.
out. So what's the offer? What's the total price, including the arrears that you need to pay? Mortgage balance plus arrears.
I'd say 127, 127,000.
And what's the ARV on the place, do you think?
I'd say about that 130.
Okay. Cool. What are rental values on the place?
1,300.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely a wrap for what I'm seeing. So as far as so there's nothing to pay to the seller.
Nope.
You're just taking over the mortgage, nothing left.
Yeah. Whole entry fee is
Um,
less than 10K, I believe.
well, that's good. Okay, so we should have 127. So that means there's nothing to the thing. Okay, so do you have a buyer for this, or are you looking for me to buy the deal
I
from you?
don't. I mean, I'm looking to wholesale it as well. I'm open to wholesaling it. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So what do we need to look at here? So we've got $1,300 a month. We got about $100 in private money if it was to be a rental. I always use the sheet to underwrite it as a rental first of all, um, just because that's what I always do, because it always gauges me where we are, whether there's something there that might make it worthwhile as a rental, whether it's a depreciation play or something else. But
Mhm.
depreciation isn't very strong on this one. So, what have you looked at as far as the buyers for this? How long will they give you to close on this? Do they want out
At
of this as
least
soon as possible, or do they need
the
some
end of the
time
month. I mean, we got till about the end of the month.
Okay, because on something like this, I would really want to extend that close a bit longer so I can find a buyer in the meantime, and
Mhm.
that way they have some more time. We can pay a month's payment or a couple of months' payments for them, just to give them
Mhm.
that time to find somewhere else to go. Because when they're in this situation, they're just going to hand you the house.
Mhm.
It is a really good deal.
I think that's
Um,
negotiable. Actually, that the closing day might be negotiable. We can possibly extend that.
because I think they're probably shitting themselves that they got 3 weeks to find somewhere to live
Mhm.
in a market that where the rentals are quite high and everything else. That I think that would be a bonus to them. And if you want, maybe we can give them a call tomorrow or something and just sort of say, look, you know, totally all about this. How can we help you more? We would love some more time, and that way we can catch up on the payments in the meantime. We can get it closed, um, and that way they can stay in it a little longer. Preferably, we can take control of the place by closing on it, but we don't need to rush too much, because if we're going to bring up $3,300 of payments, acquisition costs, we got to pay the wholesaler as soon as we close. So
Mhm.
that's another reason to delay it a little bit more, because that's another 5,500 we've got to come out of pocket, plus your assignment fee as well on top of that.
Mhm.
So I would be looking to talk to them and say, look, what about 45-day close? Would you like a bit longer? I just have the feeling that this is a little bit restrictive for you. How
Mhm.
about we give you a bit longer? And that
Mhm.
way you've got more time to find somewhere. We can even maybe find somebody that can help, with a pickup truck or something like that, or a van that can help them move. Have you actually physically been to this property?
I actually had boots on the ground there, and the wholesaler who brought me the deal, I did a walkthrough live with them. It's the
Oh,
property
great.
is beautiful on the
Lovely.
inside. Doesn't need any work, literally like nothing. New appliances.
Great.
So yeah,
Well, that's awesome, dude. So I think the next thing with this is for us to give them a call maybe tomorrow.
yeah.
Text me your cell phone and your email address, and we'll connect later on after this live, and we'll see what we can do to help the seller. I mean, you've done a great job, clearly. Um, and what was the shortfall of the wholesalers? They just don't know creative stuff, and they're just willing to bring
No,
that type of stuff to you.
they're virtual cash wholesaler. Well, actually, the one is local. This would be her first deal, but the other wholesaler who brought it to me, who JV'd with the boots on the ground wholesaler, the direct one, is a
Right.
virtual cash wholesaler that I do deals with frequently. But no, they don't know creative really.
That's good. Finn, come here. Finn, come here. Finn, come here. Stop chasing the birds. The birds aren't going to hurt you.
What kind of
Dog's
dog you
trying.
got?
He's an old English sheepdog. Let me just see.
Oh, nice.
Finn, say hi. Look over here. Look, Finn, Finn, look, look over
Oh
here.
no.
Say hi. He's a beautiful dog. He's a really good
Yeah, he
boy.
looks like it.
So,
He looks playful.
awesome, dude. Yeah, if you want to send me, shoot me that DM, and we will get it going tomorrow, and we'll
Okay,
get
let's do
buyers
it.
lined up, and you can make some
All
money
right.
from it. All right.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, let's do it. Talk
You,
soon.
I appreciate you, dude. Have a great
Yep.
day.
You too. Bye bye.
Take care. See you. Bye-bye. Awesome. Well, that's one happy guy. Let me just remove that one there. So, great stuff. Jordan, how are you doing, dude? I hope everything's going well. Send some love to Jordan. Jordan's going through some harsh shit right now. He's a great dude, and just send him some good wishes. He is a good dude. So, I am just what are we doing here? Let me just get another link. I'll share this in sub 2 a sec, see if we've got anyone else. Does anybody else want help with underwriting a deal here? I can help you guys if you want. I've probably got another 30 minutes I'll be on, or less if nobody's doing things. I can do a Q&A as well if we want. I'm happy to answer questions while we're just sticking around. Let me see. I'm just going to put this in this other group. We got a good soundtrack in here. So Man Bun Real Estate, I am using a CRM called Bitrix 24. This is the CRM here. I'm going to show you leads because that's not my deals, but it comes with pipelines where we can move deals from column to column through the Kanban view, or we can go through here and change things. We've got different pipelines and that kind of stuff going on. It's very easy to use, but just use what you got and use it better. Be more efficient with it. Even if you're using, even if you're simply using, I'm going to stop the share a sec. Even if you're just using Excel or Google Docs, that's a perfect CRM. There are people that were on Steve Trang's show last year that have been doing 50, 60 grand a month just using Google Sheets. There's no excuse for not doing deals just because you've got no CRM. So, what's up, Jason? Jordan, you're more than surviving, dude. You're thriving. This life's a gift, dude. So, who has questions? Who has questions on here? Let me just see. There's nothing coming in through there. Who has questions? Ben, come here. Come here, stinker. Come and sit down. Right, here we got one. So, the good thing is, dude, you can do whatever you want whilst you're going through this, although it might be a bit slower. It's going to still manifest some great results. So, who's got more questions? So, Jordan, that's a great question. So, just in bed with somebody. You can work on, some outreach, and I can help you with some of that this week. You can embed with somebody, do some lead follow-ups, that type of stuff. You can go out and find wholesalers for me, and then find deals that they can't close as cash, and we can bring them to the table. You and I can underwrite them. You can understand how we're working through those, and we can see if we can make deals out of them where many other sub 2 students and investors aren't going to be able to make deals from them. I'm looking to wrap as much as I can this year, and that would be, a great learning experience for everybody. So if you reach out to me tomorrow or later on today, we can try and figure out time. We'll set up a Zoom maybe for a few of you guys, and we can get you looking for what we need to see. I'd love to underwrite 10 potential wraps every day, and that way we can just figure out whether we got a deal or no deal, and offer some other solutions, and maybe talk to the wholesalers or the sellers and see if we can offer alternate solutions. If they're under contract and they can't make it work, we can try and find a solution for them by working through an alternate solution. So, so Andrew, so I'm either looking for high equity. A lot of the time when it's non-owner occupied, it's going to be a lot easier because we've got the fact that they don't need to have money to put into a new house right now. Sellers are needing as much money as they can to put down on a new mortgage because they need to keep the payment down to qualify. The interest rates being 5, 6, 7% for some, even higher in some cases, they can't qualify for the same value they could have done 9 months ago. So they need every penny they can get to roll over into the next house. So either very low equity, so I'd say look for 25% equity or less. When you pitch into the realtors, tell them, don't mention the word subject to realtors. That seems to stumble. Just say, we're looking for some sort of seller finance, owner carry type situation. And let them know that, I'm not a realtor. I don't need to be represented, so we can save the seller on some of the commission. I wonder, are you on a 6% or a 5% structure for this deal? Oh, I'm on 5%, so well, maybe we can give you 3% and we can save the seller another 2%, or if they're on 3%, maybe we can give you 3.5% and save the seller a couple of percent there. Because we always want to put the value on saving for the seller. We don't want to offer to pay the realtor's fees out of our side because that's going to increase our entry fee in some cases substantially. So we really want to be offering the agent, making it clear they're going to get paid, let them know that they can get paid a bit more than they would have done, but not indicate that they're going to get 6 or 7% worth of thing, because they're not solving the problem by listing the property. We're solving the problem by offering a solution. We're not better or worse than anything else. Some cases it won't work. Some cases the seller won't be open to it. It may not work for them. But ultimately, the situation is showing the realtor that they're going to get paid, sadly, and also, then offering the solution to the seller so that they know that they're going to be taken care of, and that they're going to be inspired to work with us. So, Ben, my dog's trying to chase pigeons when he's strapped to my leg. So does that answer your question? So that way we can take a small mortgage or a seller finance note that we can create if there's no debt on the property, and that way, I can get the wholesaler or sub-2 student paid. I will then create a wrap around that mortgage, whichever mortgage or mortgages there are. And I've just closed on a deal that I was going to wrap in New York State this week. I actually didn't wrap it. I assigned the terms because it's to another investor. And I just created a free and clear second note on that one, so I'm being paid on that one. But because he's an investor, he's going to make an Airbnb, I just assigned. In future, we're going to just do a mirror wrap, just so that puts me in between him and the underlying mortgage. But he's going to cash it out in 5 years anyway, so it's not an issue. We just assigned terms on a deal, me and Rich Dilly. We sold a deal to Daniel Blackman in New York. It was a deal in Colorado Springs, and that was an assignment of terms on that one. And we did great. So it's really a passion that I want to create notes this year, create paper, and just have a free and clear cash flow without necessarily being a landlord. I'll cherry pick any deals that come through that are unicorns that would be really good hold. If it's 0% down, 0% this 0% everything, that's obviously one that isn't really worth giving up, that you'd want to hold onto. But yeah, I'd love to work deals with all of you, and to help you guys find some more deals. So what other questions have we got? I can't see who's watching here. We've got another. We've got a guy in town here who is doing a flip, and he's just taking it on. He's doing the flip himself. I'm just trying to see if I can help him find some financing to help him get the flip done by a contracting crew, which will probably be a lot quicker for him and save him time and holding costs. So call Andrew. That's brilliant. Andrew, send me a DM, brother, and let's just stay in contact. And if you got something that comes in, I'd be happy to help with you. That would be great. What other questions have we got? Anything else coming up? Let me see. It's funny looking through YouTube. There's quite a delay on the stream. What else have we got? Thanks, Julius. I appreciate that, dude. So Jordan was looking for off-market deals on the MLS. I'm not quite sure what you mean off-market deals on the MLS, or recently off-market deals. So is that cancelled listings, or expired listings? Hey, Christy, how are you? We had a great meetup on Friday, guys. If you guys are in Arizona, sign up for, okay, cancelled or expired, that makes sense. If you guys are in Arizona, sign up for phxjv.com. If you're in Tampa, sign up for tpajv.com. Andres Bastardo will take care of you there. And if you're in Southern California, sign up for socaljv.com, and there'll be Mike, Steve, Rich, and Tia that will take care of you down there. They'll take care of you guys. So you got a built seller carry. Okay, that is a very good thing. A lot of people are doing the MLS search for specifically the seller carry side of things. Something I'm finding a lot now is that every realtor that I'm calling about these things, I've already had like 5 or 6 people call about seller finance subject to either they're, and most people are pitching it well. Some people aren't necessarily pitching it as well because they're scaring the realtors, and the feedback I'm getting from the longer conversations with the realtors are, they didn't have confidence in the person that was pitching that. Thanks, Christy. So if you go to phxjv.com, it'll actually forward you to that link. I just simplified the links with forward so that they would go to each of those locations. So, hey Joya, how are you? I hope you're doing all right. How are you, Joya? I'm well, thanks. What other questions have we got? Who has more questions to go through? I'm probably going to drop off in a few minutes if there's not a lot more action. But I just wanted to jump on and provide some value for some people. Who is out there right now? I'm just seeing if there's anything else we can look at together. Let's see here. We got a lot of new people joining sub 2. Hey Mark Cheng, how are you, dude? I was looking for the fake Mark Cheng, not you. What have you been doing, brother? So, Christy, what are you up to today? German buys houses. You're also there, dude. That's good to see you. So why don't I go over a deal I recently did, and the big shift in the market that happened. So you're cleaning. Well, that sounds like a great thing for a Sunday. Let me look at this listing here if I can find it. I'm just going to pull up this deal a second. I'll share my screen a second. So this is a deal that we did. We sold this one recently. I'm going to see if I can pull up the earlier pictures, the before pictures, because I'd like to go through and kind of look at how the property was when we got there and how it looked once we were done with it. I might be struggling to find the previous pictures, but we'll look at here. So this deal here, we can look at the purchase history on here. This was one that was, I forget the source of this one now. So we bought this one, as you can see, for $230 in July, and we put about $100,000 into this deal. Let me just see if you guys can see that. Okay, great. So on this property, let me go back to here, the one that we're sharing. So we really changed the layout on this one, and my partner Brian is the superhero on this because I only got over there I think twice. Brian really kicks ass. He's a very experienced agent, former home investor, just a really amazing human being. And we took out some walls. I'll kind of scoot through here. So in here, we had walls around here. We also had a wall through to the kitchen that came out further. We had a vent right here that came out. We really opened up the floor plan on this property hugely, and it's just made such a big difference for this. Hey Arsenio, how are you, my friend? I appreciate you for jumping on. Let's talk in the next couple of weeks, dude. I'd really love to catch up with you. You're doing some great things. So it really opened up the property. We got new cabinets in, obviously new appliances, just everything was really new. Beautiful black fans, and it took us about 5.5, 6 months to get this one done. There were a couple of small delays on there, but nothing of note. One of the other things that we did as well, from the lounge, from this wall here, in fact, there was a room, but we framed that out and closed it up, and we opened it up on the other side as a walk-in closet for the master bedroom, which is what we see here. And it made a huge difference in increase in value to the master bedroom, because now they've got a huge walk-in closet. Just tidied the back up. We painted the roof in this situation because the roof wasn't really old, but we wanted to make it look a little brighter, a little bit more finished. The pool didn't really need any work. We just cleaned it up a bit, did some landscaping in the backyard, but it was about $100,000 budget on this. And where I was going with the market shift, we actually ended up selling it. We put 100 grand into it, so 290. Where was it? The purchase price. So 230. It was about 130, I think it was. So 360. We put 320, 130 into it, and by the time we got to market the property, listed in November, we actually got an offer at 450 all cash. And because of the market where it was, we'd had it listed for a week. We dropped it 15,000, which we had talked about before listing it. That was part of the plan. If it didn't get any bites at the 485, we got the cash offer at 450. And where we were in the market, it wasn't something we were willing to leave it on the market for another month or two, just to probably end up dropping the price to a similar amount. There were no other contingencies involved, so it was easy to be able to get that one sold and done. So once we got it closed, we only made $7,500 each. Between us, we split $7,500 on this flip, which was a very small margin, but at least it was a positive margin. So just know that even though people experience flipping, and I don't consider myself super experienced, I've done probably about 14 flips now in the last year and a half with partners, and in generally I've done a couple or three on my own. But working with somebody experienced and a great crew, the market is what needs to differentiate you, and your preparation for the market is what's going to differentiate you from success and learning hard lessons with, you know, negative revenue on properties. So just be aware that the market is shifting, and when you as a wholesaler are comping properties, you really need to be very aware that you need to leave meat on the bone for these properties. And when you're comping, you have to be, you really have to be comping from the last 2 months at the most. Try and comp from the last month if anything's sold. If it doesn't, comp back 2 months. If you anything more than 3, you need to be taking 10% off the ARV, because once you get to 10% below, then we can estimate that there will probably be a further shrinkage in the market in the next 2 or 3 months or 6 months while you're doing the deal and holding it. Holding costs are increasing, holding times are increasing with listing times, and it's really important that you comp appropriately. And come and see me, come and see anybody that's been flipping that has experience, so that you guys can really get the knowledge and the lowdown on what the current market outlook for each buyer is, because everyone's got a very different picture. Most flippers have got a very, very aligned sense of what's going on, but some people, if they're buying with their actual cash, they're not using hard money, they may be willing to pay a little bit more because they're not paying holding costs for that 3 to 6 months or more. So they're going to pay the highest price, people that actually bought properties for cash. The ones that brought hard money and paid the reno with their own cash, they're the next highest, people buying that will pay more. And then the people that are using private money as well as hard money to take it down, they're going to pay the least because they got holding costs both on the acquisition cost for the hard money and also the gap funding for the renovations and holding costs as well. So just make sure, reach out to me. I'm happy to help underwrite deals, as you know, as we're doing today. But just be very clear on what you're offering, what you're underwriting, because a deal isn't always a deal. We would love it to be. A lot of people first deals aren't necessarily as good deals, but sometimes they hit a home run and they've really got it switched on. So, you know, use Zillow to comp. Go and look for Jamil Damji's amazing Zillow comping videos. Those will be a great start for you. And then past there, just go and check out whatever you can in Zillow. If you don't have PropStream or Batch, no system has everything that you 100% need in the way that you need it. But, you know, I can really vouch for Batch as being a really solid product. I use that product primarily. I use PropStream as well to compare details and things. So, David, I gave a little intro to that a little earlier on. So what is my pitch for realtors? It's not a script. Obviously, it has to be able to pivot very dynamically. Depends on who the realtor is, how they answer the phone. A lot of realtors that I'm calling aren't picking up the phone, not calling back. A lot of them are also not answering the phone like they really are a realtor, like they've got customer service going on. But not to dig on realtors. Every realtor has their position. Some are really struggling at the moment, so they might just be having a day job because they haven't got revenue coming in. Whoever said, "Hey Tristan, looking good," thank you so much. I really appreciate the compliment. If you could kindly go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and approve StreamYard to see what your username is, that would be really awesome, because then I can see who you are and interact with you. Let me see. I think this is the link right here. If you can possibly go to that link and approve, then we can see your name and you can send me some more compliments, and I would love that. So back to the pitches, realtors. We're really looking to, I never really use the term subject to with a realtor until I know that they're either open to it or alternatively, yeah, Mike, if you follow that link and come out of the stream and go back in, refresh the stream and rejoin it, it should be able to update that for you. So you're calling the realtor, you know, I see this listing has been online for a little while. Can you tell me a bit more about the activity? I'm not trying to pretend to be a realtor, but I'm asking realtor type questions. What activity have you had on the listings? Have you had any showings? Have you had any interest? Have you had any offers? those are the types of questions they're going to be more receptive listening to you than, hey, do you want a cash offer, or do you want a low ball offer, or whatever, a lot of wholesalers have been doing. I'm finding a lot of realtors are already getting calls about creative finance and subject to. A lot of them are objectionable to subject to because they don't understand what it is in a full sense. They've maybe got a misunderstood impression of it. But the long and the short of it, we're asking them if the seller would be open to, some sort of owner carry, seller finance situation. There are a few options that we have that may well suit them. What's the seller's next move? Is this owner occupied? Are they looking to buy another house? Are they looking to rent? We want to find as much information as we can. Some realtors are going to give you more. Some are just going to say that's not relevant to you making an offer on the property, and don't push a rock uphill. I was asked the question many times, how do you persuade a realtor to take subject to or take a seller finance offer? You don't. You talk to them professionally and see if they are open to that concept, and if they're not, there's not a lot you can do. A confused mind or somebody that doesn't understand is going to say no. So you don't try and eat an elephant in one bite. You take it a piece at a time, and it's just building rapport, building trust, same as it is with a seller. So we get on to then, it doesn't seem like there's probably a lot of equity on this property. Public record shows there's a mortgage on here. Looks like they only bought it a few months ago or a year or so ago. Or it's an FHA, so they didn't look to put much money down on here. And with the cost of sale, what's your commission structure on that? 5-6%. They'll probably tell you what the commission structure is, 5-6%. Okay, so that plus 2% closing costs, and I'm seeing a lot of buyers that are getting 5-6% concessions, and concessions are when they don't like the color of the stove, they don't like something that's about the house. Well, the roof looks like it might need replacing in the next 5 years, so can you give us a discount? And also, I've got huge interest rates. Is the seller willing to give a concession to help me pay down the interest rate? They've got a 2-1 thing coming up. They've got a 3-1 where you pay down the interest rate for 2 years and then it goes up. And at that point, it's probably likely that people will refinance if the interest rates are lower, but otherwise they're going to get screwed in 2 years. That's going to be another great deeper time for us if the interest rates stay high, because their interest rates are going to go up. A lot of people may not be able to afford these payments again then. So once we found those things out, well, it doesn't look like they're going to get a big check at the end. On their next sheet, that number probably isn't very big, is it? So we're just kind of walking them towards the fact that the seller isn't going to get a lot of money. Well, what if we could just write a check to the seller? You can get paid. We're not agents. We don't need to be represented. So if you're on 2.5%, maybe we give you 3% as a seller's, a listing agent's fee. That way we save them the second end, and then, closing costs, we're going to get a discount at our title company. We're investors. We get very good rates. We can save the seller on those costs. And we just play around with the numbers. Zach Ventures, what a legend. He's just joined us on Instagram. Haven't seen you for a long time, Zach. It's been too long. So Zach's another great guy to talk about dealing with realtors. That's his bread and butter. I don't know if Zach, have you got a few minutes to jump on? I'll send you a link to StreamYard if you want to join us. I don't know if you're busy. Happy New Year, brother. That is awesome. If you don't know Zach Ventures, he is a legend in the Valley, and an incredible human being, very giving. We do. Oh, awesome. I'll send you a text, Zach. We are going to have a living legend join us on here. Hang on 1 second. Here we go. I'll send it to your iPhone or to your Mac there, Zach. Zach's Mac. Here we go. So we're just talking about dealing with realtors. I'm helping people underwrite wraps here at the moment. We don't have any right now to look at, and but if you're willing to join us, that would be perfect. That should be with you now, Zach. I've just shot you a message to your text messages. You should see Zach in just a second. What are the typical numbers for a good deal? It depends on the deal and what the exit strategy would be, really. So I think Zach's just about to come in now. I'm going to drop off Instagram, and we will. Here he is, Zach Ventures. How are you, sir?
Good, buddy. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to see a beautiful face. You been out hiking? You been exercising?
No, I just got back from the Dominican Republic just a few hours ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you got away from that terrible experience.
Yeah, it was
You bet you loved
terrible.
it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
If you want to send me in future, I'll take that on for you. I care
Sounds
about
good.
you that
That'd be
much.
great. Be great.
Awesome.
What are you talking about? What's
So
happening in your world? Where are you at?
I am at the coffee shop by Agritopia in Gilbert. Me and the dog are just
Nice.
hanging out, and we're just doing a bit of a stream, just answering some questions on dealing with realtors. We're under a wrap earlier on. We were just talking about a couple of flips that I did.
Cool.
We got a couple of people asking what pitches to realtors for creative finance. Zach isn't really into creative finance in that sense, but I think that he's got some huge relationships with realtors, and I think the value that he could offer in helping you understand how to deal with realtors, and what and Zach's a realtor himself, of course. What guidance might you have for people to talking to realtors, Zach?
Just for acquisitions, for wholesale, or just building relationships in general, or what?
A bit of both,
All
really,
of the
because I
above.
think most people are looking for acquisitions, but I'm
Yeah.
explaining that the value of working with realtors is the relationship that then builds many more acquisitions down the line. Whenever I'm calling realtors, I'm not calling about one particular property. There may be one that prompted me to make the call, but I'm looking to just use that as leverage to then get in the door, get on the phone, and then talk to them and find out what their business is, find out what they do, how I can maybe bring a listing to them that fits their particular category. A lot of realtors don't specialize very much, but I'm really
Yeah.
looking for realtors that specialize in areas that I know that I can go to them for this, or I can bring them something that doesn't fit my buy box, and that way I can be a bit more specialized with these people.
Great. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's everything is about like what you've done. It's all predicated based on relationships, 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 and of course, execution. Um, Putting business aside, take the time to get to know people. Some people are quick, and I get calls all the time because they'll see my listings. Hey, sir, do you have any distressed assets available? I'm so sorry, I didn't even catch your name. They're so quick to jump into, going for the jugular. Slow it down. A lot of people think it's a numbers game. It's a relationship game. I think, take the time to cultivate, to get to truly get to know somebody so that you can be top of mind. I don't remember anyone's name who just quickly calls and says, do you have anything in the zip code in this area that's distressed? No, it's not for me. Versus, hey man, how you doing? I see that you're into triathlons. Take the time to get to know people and ask fundamental questions to engage them to be top of mind so that at the end of the conversation, they want to save your number in the phone versus you're just another cash buyer or wholesaler. You're not differentiating yourself. So my motto is slow it down, build a relationship from the ground floor, and be engaging. Don't even talk about real estate. Talk about, hey, I see you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have? Where did you get the dog? Are you into rescues? Take the time to do some due diligence on the individual that you're prospecting to thoroughly engage them and impress them to be that top of mind buyer. And then from there, the business will evolve. I think everyone does it the wrong way, in my opinion. And I did that from the start. I didn't know anybody in Arizona, and I had to build the relationships from, the same way that I'm explaining right now. Be authentic, be real, be transparent, and also bring value. Don't just try and extract and be, a bloodsucker, if you will. When you go into those ponds and you get attached to what are those things called? A leech. You don't want to be a leech. You want to be a bigger.
Leeches.
You want to be a giver. The same way Tristan is, and connecting people, and from designers to ideas to wholesalers to whatever it may be. Ask the questions, be consultative, listen first, and then respond. That's the way to do it, in my opinion, and that's what's worked for me for 20 plus years.
Yeah, thank you. And I remember your great contribution to my event, and exactly talking about that. What's your passion? And I know you were asking that question of people that you deal with, and what are you interested in? And taking it away from real estate for that exact reason.
Right. There you
I
go.
think that was a
Exactly.
really great conversation.
hmm And then you could see that,
I
the
spent
layers, of the onion start getting open so we can really connect on a deep level. You want to be, I like to use the word vulnerability. If we're just having topical conversations, you're
mm,
not penetrating that onion. Once you start to get to know somebody, and I remember you spoke about depression and your daughter. I was like, wow, we're all human beings. We all deal with different things, and no one's perfect by any stretch. We all have tremendous imperfections. And, it's kind of showing that vulnerability where we really can connect, have trust in one another, and thoroughly and incrementally delve into that onion. And then business will evolve from there,
Mm.
really will. So it's being that honesty and
Yeah. I,
transparency.
I called one agent yesterday about a property, ended up 45 minutes talking about the entertainment industry because we had some people that we mutually knew on LinkedIn that dug
Right.
into radio stations that she used to work for and
Yeah.
DJs that she and I knew, and concert photography and different things, and we remember each other. We're going to connect in a couple of weeks or in February when she's
Exactly.
back in town, and that's where we connect. Absolutely.
Right. So I would rather have people make, everyone says, and everyone's got their own strategy, teach their own. I'd rather have you speak to 5 people for 45 minutes a day than call 50 people and have a 1 minute conversation, because that 45-minute
Yeah.
conversation, you're really watering and cultivating the plants from the ground floor. And that's going to pay tremendous dividends moving forward versus the 100 people you speak to for 30 seconds that, you just look like, again, a leech. You have any distressed properties? You're not doing anything
Yeah.
by doing that. You're not creating any relationships. You could pay a
Yeah.
VA caller to ask the fundamental questions. If you're going to spend your time and you value your time, ask the jugular questions. What are you passionate about? Why are you doing real estate? What's your hopes, of retirement? What do you plan to do in the future? Those are real questions, and questions you should just,
Yeah.
integrate in every conversation. Why do you love
Yeah.
dogs?
Absolutely.
Why is depression big in your life? Why do you do these hikes? What does that do for you mentally?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. Fantastic. What are you working on at the moment, Zach? What can people bring you as far as what you're looking for right now?
Yeah, coming back, I took a little time off dealing with some family stuff, but I'm always buying, and I plan to buy pretty heavy in 2023. I'm not really selling much of anything. I care about the annuity of income and the long term, passive income on these long term rentals. I'm not a short term guy. I like the 3.2s, 4.2s. Under 400,000 is kind of my bread and butter right now. I buy as many as those that make sense. I buy on 4 pillars. I buy based on, will this be, number one, a legacy property for me? Do I want to own this for the next 10 or 15 years? If I immediately don't want to hold this, it's a no. Number two, what's the cash on cash return after stabilizing the asset? So if I buy something for 350 and I put in 50 for even numbers, I'm in it for 400. I better be able to make 8, 9, or 10% on that, because the cost of capital today is 7, 7.5, even with regular banks, if you're going to get commercial lines. So you're not going to buy a property to solely try and break even, right? I'm not, the great way is for you
Yeah.
guys with the creative financing, which is a great tool in today's market. You could buy that asset, you can lock in the rate at 3 or 4%, you're getting 7%, and you're locked in long term. You've got a good arbitrage play, right? The difference between your basis of that borrowing
Yeah.
capital and the actual yield. There's no sense to buy anything unless you're getting an 8, 9, or 10 minimum yield, especially if you're paying cash or you're getting leverage from a local bank. If you're getting hard money, forget about it. The long
Yeah.
term hold, you're going to get annihilated. So number two, what's my cash on cash return in terms of the pillar? Number three, what's the equity after stabilizing that asset? If it's not at least 20%, forget it. If there's downward pressure in the market, are you just buying just to move money,
Yeah.
to passively move money and keep your crews busy? I don't think so. And so that's critical. And then the fourth one that no one talks about is, can you buy less than replacement cost? Because there's true value there. With an inflationary market, are you getting true value? So you say to yourself, what is the cost to build this asset? If it costs you more to build that asset than you can buy it for today, you're good. So that's kind of my primary focus with those 4 pillars. Do I want to own the asset long term? What's my cash on cash return? What's the equity after stabilization? And that's pretty much it. Can I buy less than replacement cost? If it hits those 4 pillars, I'm a buyer. There's no, it's pretty black and white. There's no rainbow on my spectrum.
Any constraints to where in the metro area, or just anywhere in the valley,
I mean,
pretty
I buy
much?
within 100 miles. Clearly, if you're going to buy further out, you want a larger return because, you got to send crews out there. The cost of maintaining that asset is more. So clearly, the further out something is, if it's an outlier, you want a higher yield, a general rule of thumb. Ideally, Phoenix, Glendale, Peoria, Surprise, El Mirage. I'm still buying Maricopa. There's been tremendous downward pressure there, but I believe in that long term because The housing is, again, from a replacement cost standpoint, you can't build out there for what you can buy it for. And my yields are pretty good. I'm getting roughly between 1,800 to 2,000 a door. So if you're buying that stuff at 220 to 250 now, depending on the size, I think you're sitting pretty good no matter what. I always throw out this question, Tristan, when I'm speaking to groups. Show me a better alternative investment vehicle than real estate long term. Show me anything right now that's giving you an 8 to 10% return that's tangible that we can control. Name it. I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
So
Well,
those of you that
fantastic,
are
Zach.
will be rewarded. Those of you that are staying in the game and not getting distracted by everyone else, running through the fields are going to get paid massive dividends. But you got to play the long game. The short game of the flip and the quick money is long gone. You have to be able to create value. Bring in a good designer, bring in the good crew, spend the money on, good quality materials, stabilize and have good branding in the marketplace. The days of the band-aids for many people are long gone. It's all about surgery. It's about strong stabilization. It's about owning and retaining these assets and also having multiple exits. A lot of people before were speculating, oh, I'm going to go Airbnb this and make 30%. How many people, there's an abundance of assets, an oversupply of people exiting the Airbnb with the new legislations. So when you're stabilizing these assets, does it make sense on multiple exits right now? Could you even flip it? Number one, if you can, goodbye. Can you flip it and rent it and hit those returns? Even better. Would it work for an Airbnb? Okay, cool. Does it work for a long-term hold? Great. Does it work for, any other rental strategy as well? So those are the questions you got to ask yourself.
Yeah. Fabulous. That's awesome, Zach. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no
When are
worries.
we going to hang out again?
I'm back and I'm putting my head to the grind. So I'm around. You let
Cool.
me know. Your boy Marlon reached out
Got it.
recently and the Trana brothers, everyone. So I think it's time to get back to the
Love it.
mountains and hiking and get everybody together and get
Okay.
cranking and see what everyone's focusing on, so we can continue, like you
Shireen's
say, to
been leading
disseminate.
the march, I think, recently.
Yep, we'll make it happen. So reach out to me if there's anything you need.
Perfect.
Good to see you. What's your primary focus for
Thank you.
2023? How
Good to
can
see you too.
my people, my students, and everyone bring you value?
Thank you. I'm looking for as many wraps, and I'll keep unicorns as I can that are low entry costs and high cash flow and long term exits. And I'm going to continue to do a few flips with Brian, and at the moment, we're just
Cunningham?
about to take another one on in Snowflake. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Say hi to
So
Brian. Good dude.
yeah,
I've known
we're
him for
we're
many
continuing
years.
to
He's a
do that.
hustler.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a dear friend. Really, so glad I came across him. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was just talking through one of the deals we did on Evergreen in Glendale. We made $7,500 between us on it, which was great because it was a positive, but it was $100,000+ investment in the reno. But just with the market as it went from us acquiring it to selling it, we bought deep enough to make a profit. Sadly, it wasn't as much of a profit, but at least it was a profit at the end of the day. At the end, it's a
Absolutely. A
learning
win
lesson, but
is a
it was
win
what it
in
was.
today's market. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But I want to document that for people to realize that yes, it is going to get tight. Sphincters will twitch a little bit some days. There's a guy that took on a deal last week that's doing the reno himself, and it's a very tight deal. And I'm seeing if I can help him get it done a bit more expeditiously with the crew, because he said he didn't have the budget for the crew. I said because he didn't raise the money, so I'll just see if we can help him out and get it done quicker and get it back on the market in a more quick. This is second flip, I think, maybe his first or second deal. So yeah. Just so
Cool.
yeah, I'll
By
reach
the
out and
way,
see if we
I'm
can do a
sitting
flip
on a.
walk at one of your or one of his students.
Say that again.
I was just going to say I'll reach out and see if one of his students or you've got a flip that maybe we can do a flip walk out in the next month or so. We'll come out and
No
see you
problem at all.
and document that and bring some people around. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was saying I've got a surplus. I'm about to tear down one of my PV houses and build a big new construction project. It's going to be actually your gal walked it with me, your designer, Lena. Nice lady, great gal. We're doing
Oh,
a really
brilliant.
cool project
Yeah,
over
I
there. It's
love
going
her.
to be probably about 7,000 square feet. I think it'll be a top 10 home in Arizona. We're finalizing these plans. But in the interim, I'm sitting because I was speculating with the market on the cost of materials rising. I'm sitting on about 500 2-panel beautiful slab doors. If you know anyone that's big on remodels and needs some doors, I'm happy to offload about 250 of those just at 50% of the, you know, retail pricing, so they can save significant money. Because I got to move stuff out of the house and I don't
Perfect.
have additional storage. So I got a lot of stuff to move out to help people, if you know anyone looking for good doors. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
happy to open up the
I will
doors
spread
and
out the
show
word.
people what's going on and what we're doing and style. And really, you want to go timeless now. You want to mitigate, you know, all the trends and just keep a long-term timeless, you know, design and plan on owning this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, why not play the long game? That's what I've done.
Fantastic. Perfect.
Well, good to see you, buddy.
Thank you so
Say
much,
hi
Zach.
to your
I
dog
appreciate
and the
it. Good
team.
to see you.
Have a wonderful day. Happy and healthy New Year to you
He's
and your
right
family.
here. Finn, say hi to
There
Uncle
he
Zach.
is. Sir, that's
Say hi.
Sir Finn for everybody.
Good boy.
Sir Finn.
Yep.
What a
He's
star.
going to be 5 years old next Saturday. So we're going to have a little
Nice.
birthday party. So, yeah. Dogs
Nice.
are like their owners, they say. So,
Absolutely.
appreciate you, Zach.
Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Take care.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. You too. Bye-bye.